Hello, guys. Hello, what's up? Good morning and good evening to everyone. Okay, so right now we have a expansion in a overnight session again. The pre-market has been expanded higher, and we also have the FOMC tomorrow on Wednesday. The pre FOMC day, like and the today's day, it is going to be a low probability. We are not going to punch any orders. We are just going to observe the market. If we see an opportunity, we are then only we are going to push the button. Otherwise, we will just wait and watch how the market is going to form. Because if you see the yesterday was the shittiest market you can ever have. It was in a consolidation, and if anyone was trading inside this range, he is probably blowing that account. And also, so let's mark the previous day's highs and lows as a draw on liquidity. Where is this guy? Okay, this is the previous day high. Okay, so this high has been formed at 15 o'clock p.m. session. Let me check this high. Okay, so this high has been formed at previous day high. This is the first, second, and third day. We have taken out the we almost taken out the Monday high, and we also formed the low resistance liquidity run on a today's this thing also, because if you see, we have formed the equal lows over here, and we have not taken out any sell side liquidity. We also have not taken out the sell side liquidity over here also, and there is no SMT with ES also, and we have a gap up. I think this is because of the contract switch. I'm using the continuous contract. Those who don't know, you have to go to the trading, and I think you have to event and contract switch. You can enable this thing in your trading, so you don't need to switch the charts again and again, and you will be always on a correct contract. So we will also mark down the yesterday's PM session low. This is the yesterday's PM session low, and also we have a AM session low over here. And if you check the yesterday's AM session low, we have not filled this gap. So this is the volume imbalance also. So there is no trading has been happened in RTH chart. So this can be the highest draw on liquidity, the AM session low. I will just mark down the same liquidity area on ES also. PM session low and the AM session low. This is the lunch hour low. So if you see, the low has been formed at 12:25. So it is the liquidity, the RTH liquidity. This is not a session liquidity. The high we are going to look on ES, it is going to be yesterday's PM session high. This is the highest draw on liquidity you can ever have. Now we will just wait how the market is going to form. Also, let me check the 1 hour. We have the 1 hour FEG. Okay. On a 1 hour FEG, we do have this FEG. Let me check the 15 minute. On a 15 minute, we have this gap. This is the premium 15-minute gap. We are going to look for extended to the right side, and the tax will be the 1 hour FAG. So the draw should be the higher, but we almost tag to this high. Okay, and also what we can do, we are still inside this gap, right? So we can also mark down the quadrants level. So the 50% level for the fair value gap, it is going to be the 20,5053. And if market wanted to push higher, then we can also look for the full closure to the buy side liquidity. On a 1 minute, uh, we do have this equal low. Okay, this equal lows, and this equal lows is also aligning with the 1 hour FAG, and we are above 830 high, so we are above the 830 high and also the midnight opening price. If we have a manipulation something like this, sell side liquidity. Okay, so if I have a manipulation like this, we tap to the high. Okay, we did a manipulation to the this high, and we inverted this fair value gap or something like this, and then we can target this equal lows. So this is what I'm planning right now. So we have tapped the 50% of this gap. Okay, the daily FEG, and also let me, okay, 1 minute. Okay, so let me check the 4 hour FEG, and we don't have any 4 hour FEG inside this daily 1 hour FEG. Okay, so we also have inverted this gap, so most likely we are going to fill this gap till this high or this high, and also there is no protected high, so this high also can be the problematic. So let's wait for the more information before punching the order, because we after the 9:30 we just happened, it just happened the 3 minutes, so we will just wait for the more information. We also have the equal lows over here, see the failure swings. By the way guys, the Lucid has have a great offer right now. If you buy any 3 Lucid Pro accounts, okay, you are going to get the one reset free for any account. If you are going to look for a purchase, you can use the code PERK, and this offer is valid till 24, I think. So it is next uh, yeah Thursday, yeah 24 this month. You can comment on that post and repost also if you like. We are going to host another giveaway for the Lucid. I'm looking for a bearish because I'm above the 8:30 and the midnight also, and also above the yesterday's PM session high. So if I see some kind of momentum for the bearish, I will look for the bearish trade. Okay, and also I will like to mark down this opening range gap because we are inside this gap. Yeah, after the CIST or the inverse FEG, if I have a good displacement, then only. Otherwise, we will just wait and watch and wait for the more information. Because if you see the yesterday's, if you was rushing for the entries over here, you was getting trapped in this bad price action, right? And also we have the opening range gap CEO here. Let's see how this fair value gap is going to hold. This fair value gap. We are not looking for a buy or sell a buy after taking the buy side liquidity. We are just waiting for the more information. I am using the MNQ. Okay, it is a continuous chart, continuous contract. Also, you can say. Why you should sell right now? There is no, the setup is not present, bro. I'm just waiting for the more information. Did we tap any high key level or any other thing? No, right? Okay, so look, MNQ, and you have to select this one. I select this one, MNQ one, the first one. This is the June contract, MNQ. And also we do have this gap, the new day opening gap. Okay, if you check this gap, this low to this high, because this was the closing and this was the opening. Most likely we can do the continuation to the buy side, but the only thing I don't wanted to buy at this range, at this price. Hi Mayank. Yeah, it is in premium because if you see, we have expansion to the buy side. We have a big expansion at a pre-market. This pre-market, see the 7 o'clock, and uh, if you have a big range, this like this to 60 points, then again we can unfold like this price action. The only thing is, where is our short-term targets? So if you see yesterday's price action, this low was the short-term target, okay, and this was the extended target, the 7 o'clock low, this low. But market never reached to this low. What was the nearest draw on liquidity? It was the 930. And after that, what the market has done, it has done the chop chop over here. It was totally in a consolidation, and after the MOC, okay, market on close micro on after the 15 o'clock. It is starting at 15 o'clock, and it has taken out the AM session high. And as soon as the market has taken out the AM session high, it has reverted back to the inner range, and you can see again now in a London was a not good price action. If you see the 2 o'clock, this was the 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It was in this small range. There is no stop run happen. The big stop run happened. We have not taken out this low. It was just tap to this fair value gap or order block and get a reaction to the buy side liquidity. And market has not taken out any stop runs like this low. Let's say if market was taking this low and going up, then you can say, okay, this is the stop run below the midnight opening price. But below this, we just have the Asia low, and London has put somehow the low of the day. And right now we have taken out the previous day high plus PM session high. So it was the draw on liquidity for today's price action. If we was over here and if we was having a change in state of delivery, then you can look for this as a target. But right now we are in a deep premium, and we just wait for the more information. If you see the right now what is happening, what market can do, it can close to this 100% level, the FEG high, and it can back to the range, or it will either it is going to take a support from this area and it will do the continuation to the previous day high. And if we get our setups, let's say if we get a good distribution to the downside and it created the fair value gap, we can look for this low and this equal lows, and the extended target should be this, but the nearest draw on liquidity should be this low 930 low, because we have manipulation to the downside. And then if you check the RTH, we have taken out the previous day high and the PM session high. It is at the same area, and we are inside this gap again, and we have taken out this high also, the Thursday high in a RTH chart. Just waiting for the more information because I don't have any bias. I'm just checking what is the nearest draw on liquidity in terms of session liquidity. And guys, if you like if you like the post and retweet on this Lucid Pro accounts, the message I have pinned, it will be the higher chance that I can announce the second giveaway on this YouTube channel. And those who are watching the video, those who are live with me, they are going to get a chance, and it will be the instant, so you don't have to wait for the 2 to 3 days. This is the 15-minute chart. This is the consolidation. How does the trade sounds to you? Mm, It is still good because 25,800, that is a big number, Mahesh. And also, if market is not going to retrace, because 25,800, that is way bigger, because right now we are at 25,075. 24,000, sorry, 24,800. Sorry. Okay, 24,800. Yeah, this low. Bro, again, it is also the big number again because it can move to the downside. Okay, it can move to the downside with this big range, but we do have equal lows over here also. And it is the yesterday's AM session low and the PM session low is over here. And we have completely rebalanced the daily FEG. If we was having this kind of manipulation to the inside this fair value gap, then it was a great shot. It was a great long also till this high. Just need a more information again. I will just wait, and if I see something, then I will like to trade. Otherwise, I will just skip this day and trade tomorrow. So what about the video that you said to remind you in Discord? Okay, so look how to use the how I use the midnight opening price and the 8:30. Okay, so the midnight is mostly it is going to be used for the overall session, the daily range. Okay, but if you are trading the London session, then you can look for a buy below this session, below the midnight opening price. And if you have a session liquidity, it has been traded, and then you have a structure, and if you tap to the high time frame key area like 4 hour or 1 hour fair value gap, and if you have a directional bias, then you can easily trade the midnight opening price with this classic buy template. But the 8:30 is used for the NY session for the dynamic premium and discount, and also the midnight. So the thing is how I use the overnight session. If I have a big range like this, the most likely it is going to expand in the same direction, but it is going to take out 8:30 low or either the 7 o'clock low. This is the one of my setup I am using it. If I see some kind of manipulation below the 8:30 low or 7 o'clock low and have an inverse FPG, then I literally target the yesterday's PM session high or the 3 days look back liquidity. Or I can also target this low or this low. This is what I most of the time I'm targeting like that. But I need some kind of manipulation before entering. Otherwise, I really don't want it to take a trade over here and like this. I don't want it to trade over here and put my stop loss over here. And what is going to be target like this? I don't trade like this. The new week opening gap and the new day opening gap, you are going to use you can use the new week opening gap for last 10 days. But how I use it, I just check it where we are right now in a daily time frame and which is the nearest new week, new day, or the new week opening gap. So if you see, we have not traded to this gap, right? So you can mark this new week opening gap or either the new day opening gap like this, okay, the closing and the opening, and this will become your new day or the new week opening gap. If you tap to this previous day high, as in previous day highs and draw on liquidity, this is the Thursday high, okay. And after taking the Thursday highs buy side liquidity, where the market is going to go, the new day opening gap or the new week opening gap. The new day opening gap, a new day opening gap and the opening range gap has the, you have to use the last 5 days only. You don't have to mark down the more after the 6 days. You don't have to use it. I don't use it. This is what the rules are. But I just check it where we are right now in terms of range and also the sessions. Markets are really tough because of this Iran and also the war that is happening. And we don't know the directional bias for the dollar also. So the Nasdaq is going to be in consolidation. If you don't know the direction of the bonds, then how the heck you're going to know where the dollar is going to go, and the Nasdaq is going to be in a range again. Right now we are inside the 950 micro, 950 to 1010 micro. We have started. If you check, right now it is 950. And also we don't have a SMT. Okay, okay, we do have a minor SMT like this. And also on a ES we have a failure swings. Don't want. I'm not expecting the big market maker sell model, but just let's see how the this fair value gaps and the order block is going to trade. This is the 15-minute FEG also. So inside this FEG, if we have a stop run, then price can go to the buy side again. It can do the continuation to the buy side because we have almost flipped this gap daily FEG, and also uh, this is the almost failure swings. We are trading over here. ES has not created any fair value gap. The Nasdaq has done it. we tap to the this gap, let's say this as in draw on liquidity. There is news, but it is not a high impact news. It is a medium impact news. It is the pending home sales for the monthly. It's yes, literally it look like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday also have the big expansion at a pre-market, and it goes it did the chop chop, and I'm looking at this lows and this lows, at least this low. So okay, if market is going to take out this high, have some kind of ch- market maker sell model, then it is going to be taking this low and this low. I'm trading the I'm doing the live stream every day, almost Monday to Friday for the 1 hour. The stream is going to start at 9:20, and it is going to be end at most of the time it is going to be 10:30. I'm not going to sit over here and do the 2 to 3 hours live stream. If market is really good, then you're going to get a setup in a first 1 hour or 1 hour or maybe after the 10:30. But my my 90% of my trades it has been formed in the first hours, and you can check this proof on my previous live streams. You can check the previous videos. Let me see the 4 hour candle also. This is the 4 hour candle. Most likely this with the open low high close. The 99% I just close my chart. If I'm going to do anything, then it is probably the gambling, and I will blow my accounts. So that's why I prefer, and I'm telling you guys, the live stream has been, it is benefiting, it is giving me the more benefits in my trading, because I'm following my rule. I'm also waiting for my setups, and previously what I used to do, I was also taking the risky setups, but now I don't do those things. I just wait for the good opportunity, and I also check the reaction if the fair value gap is supporting that idea. Okay, and if I think okay, the most likely the market is going to go either this low or this high, then I'm taking a setup. But what used to happen previously, I was just taking the setups. It was the high risk setups. That's why live stream is helping me more, because I'm also explaining you guys that okay, this is what I'm looking for, and also this is draw on liquidity. I'm going to wait for the reaction, then only I'm going to trade. I'm not predicting the market, I'm trading the reactions. My setup has not been formed yet. Do you feel the FOMO for yesterday's? No, I don't feel FOMO. Do you think there was a setup today's rally? At pre-market, there was a setup. Okay, if you ask me today, this setup was there, but the stop loss was not really good. Like, how the heck you are going? Which stop loss you are going to put? This low or this low? Because whenever the market has the big wicks, okay, most of the time market is going to rebalance those wicks and go up. So how you are going to trust this big wicks? You cannot do it. If you was having the inverse FG, the good inverse FG I'm talking about, if you have it, then it was a good setup. But if you are just trading the randomly and trading every fucking FG, then it will be problematic for you, and probably you are going to take multiple setups in a one single day. And you can also see that what is the daily candle is telling you. Tell me, what is the daily candle is telling you? Tell me. You don't know, right? You don't know, because I don't know. I'm trading for the last 5 years and with the ICT concepts. I'm using the easiest draw on liquidities and easiest target. Not using any. I'm not using any fancy concepts also. Thank you very much, bro. If you really, if you really appreciate my thing, thank you very much, bro. Because it is also helping me to do this. English is not my first language, but tell me one thing: how many of you, those who are speaking English, does not know any Hindi language? Okay, I told you. First of all, we have a big range in a pre-market. Okay, and also the after the 9:30, we have not expanded to the low side. Okay, if we inverse this gap, okay, 15 minute. What I'm expecting, we should not respect this 15-minute fair value gap, and we should look for this low. But I will just wait for the more information, because again we have the low resistance liquidity run over here also. Just because we have the inverse FG and turning back to the inside the 15-minute fair value gap. Yeah, this can be the small market maker sell model till this low or this equal lows. Okay, and let me check the RTH chart also. Um, if I'm going to take an entry, I will tell you. Okay, if I'm going to execute in this setups, I will surely tell you. I will just check it how this fair value gap is going to hold. Okay, if this fair value gap is not going to hold, then most likely we are going to do inverted this fair value gap and do the continuation to the buy side liquidity. This fair value gap is for me, it will be the decision taking for this setup, because we also tapped this 15-minute fair value gap, right? So that is the reason, because just because of we have a market structure shift. Okay, but we are in a deep premium also, and yeah, just waiting for the more information. The market is really not good. You can say it. You should not blame me. I'm going to mark this thing as an orange. Okay. FMC, it is the CTS week you can never have. I like the NFP weeks because if you have the if you can trade the NFP weeks, but FMC weeks it is really hard because the most of the damage it has been done already. We also have a SMT with ES. Okay, let's see how this fair value gap is going to hold. Even if I'm taking any setups like in sell or either buy, uh, it is going to be a low risk setups. Okay, it is not going to be high risk. That's why I was waiting for the more information. This fair value gap is going to tell us the whole story of the 10 o'clock candle. The first quarter of the year was in a range or not that great. I just hope that okay, if the candle is going to do a manipulation, the on a yearly basis, okay, yearly power of three, then it is going to be interesting. A 5 minute. Okay, so on a 5 minute, we are inside this inside this inverse FG. Okay, what indicator is that separates the screen? Which this screen, this toe screen? On a 1 minute, we still don't have any change in state of delivery. Okay, this one. The Trump market is the worst market because I used to trade the Biden market, and Biden market was easiest market because The setup was really easy, and you can do the manipulation to the downside, and you can easily trade to the Asia highs and lows. And also the forex was also good that time. But this market, if you see after the open, you already have a big range. Okay, guys. Take if we close the body, okay, over here, I would like to short the market with a very low risk. Okay, if we close the body on this change in state of delivery, then only. Otherwise, I am going to wait, and it is going to be a low risk. If I have a body closing, then only. Otherwise, I will just wait. Okay. Those who started the trading now. Bro, they are in a trauma. Those who started the trading in a Trump. Trading is really hard in a Trump area because I literally it was the hardest thing on a Trump market. Yes, I am in over here. It is a small risk, guys. I told you that if if the price is going to close the body, I'm going to take a shot. It is going to be a low risk because again we have a failure swings over here. My stop loss is over here. No, it did not tap to the CIST. Just take a market entry on this candle somewhere over here. I'm looking for this low. Okay, the first partial book on this low, the 932, because this fair value gap is bigger. I will also see how the price is reacting on this 50% CE of this fair value gap on a 1 minute. My SL is over here on this high, the 10 o'clock 05. The price is also balanced on a 5 minute. If you see, the price is really balanced, and this is the ES. ES is already near to the 930 low, so most likely if we again have a distribution to the downside, this low can be the good target. This low 25,010, and right now we are inside this fair value gap. We have the two fair value gaps. Okay, bearish FEG and another bearish FEG. This one, if the market is not going to tap this upper FEG, and if we get a reaction from this and have a distribution to the downside, then we can even look for this low, this 50% of this week. Okay, and market also tap to this opening range gap CE. My SL is over here. I'm telling you, this high, this high. Sure, I will show you the entries. I'm putting my SL to the break even over here. Okay. So I have taken out my first partial on this fair value gap. If the price is going to take my SL, then it is no regret because I have booked on this fair value gap. Okay, we have tapped to this fair value gap. You can see, and if the market is going to, this is the inverse FEG, right? On a 1 minute, and this is the 5 minute inverted FEG. If I see the more distribution, then the last position I'm going to exit on the 930 low, or this low can be also the good one. I tell you guys that I told you the plan beforehand. Okay, I will short after having this change in state of delivery and inside this fair value gap. First TP, look here. Look, 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 over here. Yeah, I look for the inverse FEG. I just wait for the, if I look, I was in a premium, okay? We was above the 830 and we have not tapped the CE, right? And also we have inverted this fair value gap. And after that, we inverted this fair value gap. What we have the minor change in state of delivery after tapping to this inside this fair value gap, right? This is where the I took a market order and I booked over here. I will share the whole trade also, and also after taking a first TP over here, I put my SL, I put my SL on this high, on this swing high. Do you see this swing high inside this fair value gap? Because this swing high is going to be the ITH, like intermediate term high. If price is taking this high, there will be the no regret. There will be the no regret because it is because we are inside the inverse FEG, okay, and ES has already traded back to this 930 low. We still have a 1 minute, okay. If price is going to take out my trailing SL, there is a win-win situation still because I have booked something over here 80%. It still has not taken out my SL. My SL was over here, still waiting over here on this high, this high. Let's see. Most likely it is going to take out. I hate this price action, guys. I'm telling you, I hate this. This was my execution. Okay, I booked I booked 80% over here because 70 to 80%, and this was the trailing SL. So even though if I'm hitting my trailing SL, it is a still win-win situation for me. And I have not taken out any sell. I have not taken out any buy in this range. I can also show you guys. It, yeah, it is a the market is so ugly. It is a fucking ugly. Check it. No buy on this range. I always trade after the 9:30. But yeah, this is the small rally I took it, and also I was checking the ES, right? We may take this low, okay? We may take this low, but the thing is, I already took a setup and done the business, right? It was a small risk, and my profit was really like an overall like $230 approx. If I was risking like $250, then it was the good setup because this was the market entry over here. My SL was over here. My first TP was over here, first TP, and second TP was like this. I at least know that when to do the high risk and when to go for the low risk. Am I right? This is the 15-minute again, and this is the 5-minute. Most likely, this fair value gaps, 5 accounts right now, 5 to 6 accounts. 5 accounts, and also I'm doing the challenges for the my funded futures and the 35. 3 accounts of the my funded futures, and the other one is Lucid's. the, I really don't know why the YM why the people are trading the YM. I don't know. I tell you guys that I was going to short, right? I also told you that I'm going to keep my SL over here. The only thing is I'm not going to tell you exactly, okay, sell, buy over here. You have to learn how to build this skill, okay? You don't have to spend your whole day watching me or watching ICT. Once you figure out what you want to do, then it is easy because on a 5 minute we have inverted FEG. On a 1 minute we was waiting for a change in state of delivery inside this 1 minute FEG, right? And we have failed the two fair value gaps, the first one and the second one, right? And also we was in a deep premium about the 8:30 and also the midnight. And after the 9:30 we have not taken out any major sell side liquidity. And also if you check, this is the 5 minute chart of Nasdaq on RTH. So I was expecting this low to be taken out, but the ES has already done this thing. See, ES has taken out this low and Nasdaq has not taken out. So it can be the SMT, and if we inverted this fair value gap, then it can go to the buy side again. or if you have a change in state of delivery again, then you can look for this low and RTHCE as a target. 830 is still down, so do you think the price can go for it? Yeah, the price is the thing is, look, the price is not bullish or either the bearish. The thing, we have taken out the yesterday's EM session high, and we are inside the fair value gap, and we also have the draw on liquidity after, because we have failed the multiple fair value gaps. Okay, the yesterday's it is the old air daily high. Okay, you are not going to see over here, but if you go to the 15-minute chart, you are going to see this is the high, and market is extremely bullish. Because look, if price is going to take a support, okay, and take out this high, then most likely again we are going to do a continuation to the buy side liquidity, because now we have a SMT with ES like this. What we want to see in price action, okay, do we have a reaction from this inverse FVG, or we are taking a resistance from this area? This high, if the market is taking out this high, it is going to be the high probability that it is going to reach this high, and after taking out this high, market can go for this as a target also. So I hope you guys understand what was this today's setup. Okay, 5 minute was inverse FVG, and on a 1 minute we have inverted the two fair value gaps. What I was waiting, for the fair inside the 1 minute FVG change in state of delivery into the market entry, and looking for the first target over here. I hit my first TP. The second target I was looking for this low, but we had a SMT with ES, and this is what happened right now. You need to have a change in state of delivery or the market structure shift with a good reaction. This is how you are going to confirm. The strongest SMT you can ever have on a, if you are below the 830, and if you below the midnight, then it will be the strongest SMT you can ever have. This kind of SMTs are the continuation SMTs. what the ES is doing over here. See, you also have to check the ES. By the way, guys, I have ordered the yesterday. I ordered the new mic. Okay, it is the Rode mic. It almost cost me like 11,000. It is the 11,000 mic. Yeah, the current one I'm using the Fidius one, so there will be no problem in listening also, and also in market commentaries. So this is the again the low resistance liquidity run. Okay, this if you take this high, then again it is going to be bullish to the buy side liquidity, because man, even my friends has told me that few of them they was having the issue. My sound was really bad. Let's see how this fair value gap. Okay, so we have get a reaction from this 15-minute IFEG. Does anyone do trade on Tradify? Somehow I'm not able to change my stop loss to track my stop loss. Well, which platform are you using to trade? No, are you using the TraderWeight? Are you trading with the help of TradingView? Because I always use the TradingView. I used to use the other platforms, but it is really hard for me because I'm copying the accounts with a replicanto. Yeah, so the one master account I'm using of the Lucid one only. I can try with the TradingView. Okay, TradingView is a good platform, bro. You should trade with those thing only. Bro, as per your experience, if the pre-market has been expanded, yeah, you should avoid the AM session after the. If you have a big range at a pre-market, okay, this kind of big range, then you should avoid the AM session, and you can see how choppy it is. There is no one-sided directional move. Even though I managed to trade and take a profit, but my trailing SL was hit. I was looking for this low as a target, but market never reached to this low. What we have right now, we have SMT with ES. Okay, and this is the change in state of delivery. If we have this, and if market has taken out this high, so most likely it is going to do a continuation to the buy side liquidity and this high. Anyway, guys, okay, guys, we have traded to the, we have took the sell, we have taken out the one sell, and also I'm closing the live stream, and thank you guys for being over here. But if you're going to take any account, you should use the PERK as an code. It is going to help me and help you guys also, because I'm going to host the more giveaways in this on this channel only. So thank you guys and have a nice day. Bye bye, GG.